Asylum Inc. presents Hollow. Long ago, as a small child, Melinda was oblivious to the hidden realm of the spirits. Blissfully, her days were filled with the typical joys of youth until a rather mundane accident nearly cost the child her life. A fall from a rather unremarkable tree left the child unconscious. A pool of blood slowly pooling from the base of her skull on the ground beneath her. Her sister Sonia stayed with Melinda as another friend ran to get their mother. As her mother neared, her hand involuntarily moved to cover her own mouth, silencing the panic within. Melinda had fallen upon an uprooted branch, standing nearly vertical from the ground. The wooden stake penetrated the base of her skull, nearly severing her spine and causing immense damage. Paramedics rushed to the scene and with great care took the injured child to the hospital where weeks of surgeries awaited Melinda. The physical damage would have been enough to cause tremendous agony, but infections delivered by the wooden shard caused swelling, increased fever, and threatened to cause permanent brain damage. Experts were brought in to consult on the case, seemingly to no avail. It wasn't until all hope looked to be expunged that something miraculous occurred. Steeped in sweat and with a fever threatening to reach above 108 degrees, Melinda would spend years trying to recall exactly what happened on that desperate night. Clouded in a haze, Melinda's recollections were limited to those of ghostly apparitions, some terrifying beyond words as they tried to coax her down darkened hallways. Others greeted her warmly, comforting her with their auras. Her fever broke later that night, bringing relief to everyone in the room. Her recovery was as swift as could be expected, considering the trauma. It wasn't until 6 months later that the others made themselves known to Melinda. 11th. At first, they came to her only as bodiless voices, sometimes just sounds, other times even complete sentences. Some curious, others outright helpful, the young child grew to love her disembodied friends. It wasn't until one unremarkable evening in September that the others began to manifest visually. At age 11, Melinda woke in the middle of the night to a blood-curdling scream. Her sister and the rest of her family remained asleep, oblivious to the anguish she could so clearly hear. Melinda began to wander the halls of her home, noticing as the walls became increasingly more alien. Textured with rough, dangerous edges, the walls seeped a black goo, coating everything and slowly consuming the very floor she walked upon. A black door stood at the end of the hall, closed and intimidating. Melinda knew in her soul that the source of the anguish lurked just beyond the imposing barrier. As she neared ever closer, Melinda heard whimpers of sorrow and pain grow once more into the cascading shrieks of terror and agony, burning deep within her psyche with an untraceable sense of familiarity. A truth was hidden behind this door, and should she choose to open it, would she find relief? Would she free this unknown suffering, or would she damn herself, taking within herself a great and unknowable darkness? Melinda could not refuse the lure of the secret door. Reaching out slowly, she grasped the knob, turning it ever so gently. As the door opened, realization and knowledge began crashing in, blending with her very soul, mutating and changing her very being. To be continued. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this Asylum Inc. presentation.